Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Pixel Street Podcast. That's right, we are still a podcast 1 month later. Where each and every week or time we decide to record a podcast, we get together to talk about video games. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Joel Campos, and I'm joined by the man who has pre-ordered 35 games throughout the year 2019 already, John Hansen. What's up, John?
No, it's actually 40. Man, has it really been a month since we last recorded?
Close to a month, yeah.
Close to a month.
Like probably the 3 weeks-ish. Because
Gotcha.
I think we recorded the day after Smash came out, or the day Smash came out.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, man.
So it was one of the two.
I didn't think it was that long yet. Hopefully with the holidays ending, we'll get a chance to do this more often again.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic past few weeks. As always, you can get our podcast on most podcast platforms on Fridays, as well as on YouTube. You can now watch the show directly on our Facebook group by searching for Pixel Street Podcast over there. This week we're going to be discussing our top 5 most anticipated games of 2019. And I actually added an article that has some major releases coming out at the end, so we'll just kind of talk about some of the other major ones that we may not necessarily be interested in. But for now, let's look at some of these new releases coming out in the next week or two. That aren't Kingdom Hearts, John.
Oh, man.
Alright, let's see. Let me scroll through this list and see if anything sticks out. Looks like a bunch of Switch games, which is pretty standard for a Thursday. Lot of Switch games, Jesus. And then January 11th, you have New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but didn't that get delayed?
Nope,
16th?
It's coming the 11th.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I bought that for my girlfriend for Christmas because she loves Mario games and The Sims. Exclusively those two franchises.
Nice. I pre-ordered it on my Switch. I never had a Wii U, so I never got a chance to play the original, but I heard it's really good, and it's Mario. I mean, it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, true. Only other thing I see that sticks out is all the way on the 24th, and that's Smite coming to Switch. I feel like that's a pretty cool release.
I got you on the 5th, or I guess the 15th would be too far out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the 24th is as well. But
yeah, the 15th, that's the next episode of The Walking Dead, the final season. That's coming back.
Okay, that means I should probably play the second episode because I was waiting out. I was holding out ever since they announced, the closing and, the kind of the delay of it altogether.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, but it is coming back and in just a couple weeks.
Cool. The only other one I see is Ace Combat 7 coming out on January 18th, which I have really no interest in. I don't know. But yeah, those are...
I work at GameStop, and I've had a few people come in and say how excited they were for it. I've never given Ace Combat a try, and it seems like too much of a simulation game for me to really enjoy. But I know there is a market for it.
Yeah, it's definitely that type of game where it's got a very niche audience, but like the people who are interested in it are going to be diehard about it. Just because, when's the last time a, like an Air Force sim, type game came out? Really? Mm-hmm. Ace Combat 6, probably?
Yeah.
There's probably some indie shit for PC, I'm sure. Moving on, let's go over some of the backwards compatible games. No, hold on. We're skipping that. I don't know what Xbox backwards compatible games have come out since we last.
Yeah, I don't think any new ones have come out lately.
Well, I'm just going to read the first few. The Darkness, The Bureau, XCOM Declassified, and Nuke Nukem Forever, and Aliens vs. Predator. I know Sonic Unleashed was there last time.
Yeah, that was our last episode. So yeah, 4 more did come out. Wow, I didn't see anything for that.
Yeah, me either. And I'm on Twitter pretty often. Usually
Same.
I see, Major Nelson or somebody post a thing, but I must have missed it. Moving on, we got some of the free games of the month. Do you want to take the Xbox ones, John?
Yeah, I'll take that. We don't have it on here, but Never Alone is still on there until January 15th. I actually just tried that out last night, and it's not that great. You can just skip that. Download it because it's a free game and give it a try, but I wasn't a big fan of it. From January 1st to the 31st on Xbox, we have Celeste, which is one of the best games to come out last year, and I am so excited to give it a try. I have it downloaded, just haven't gotten to it yet. Definitely download that. That was best indie game of the year, right? At the Game Awards.
Something like that. But yeah, it's definitely, you have to download it because it's free and it's literally a new game that was in a bunch of nominations.
Yeah, for sure. From January 16th to February 15th, we have WRC 6, which I believe is a racing game, like a dirt track racing game or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to like the dirt games, but I think it's less arcadey. I think it's more sim.
Gotcha. And then from the 1st to the 15th on both Xbox 360 and Xbox One, we have Lara Croft, Guardian of Light. And this one is interesting because this is actually the first game to be on Games with Gold for a second time. Like, this was originally on there, like, 2 years ago.
That's really, really weird.
Yeah, and right?
It's surprising that they would do that. The one game I wish would do that is for PlayStation Plus is whatever that Uncharted game for PS Vita was, because that came on PS Plus before I ever had PS Plus and before I even had a Vita. And then I bought a Vita and I was like, man, I heard that game's great, but I still have not bought it. I'm gonna look up how much that costs though.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see that it's a so-so game. It's not your average Lara Croft game. It's more of a top-down multiplayer game. There's even a sequel to it where you can play with like 4 people, so I'm surprised that didn't come. But whatever.
Yeah, no, the sequel I think didn't it? It's like a top-down shooter, right?
Yeah, it might have.
I think
they might have
a game
both
with
been
Gold
on
pretty
there
recently, because that's what I thought this was.
Yeah. And then from January 16th to the 31st, also on Xbox One and 360, we have Far Cry 2.
Gotta love that Far Cry, man. The person I game share with actually just pre-ordered Far Cry this morning. The new one.
New Dawn?
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know much about it, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it for a bit at least. I mean, I liked Far Cry 5 a lot.
Yeah,
but
we'll actually be talking about that when we get to our current games.
Yep. Moving on, the PlayStation Plus games for the month of January 2019. For PS4, you have Steep and Portal Knights. I know nothing about Portal Knights, but Steep, I played the beta and it was pretty cool. Definitely not worth buying, but it's free, so definitely go pick that up.
I want to say Portal Knights was a Game with Gold a couple of years ago, and I gave it a try, and it was decent. Nothing amazing, but it was all right.
Oh, wait, is that one that's like co-op online?
Yeah, if it's the one I'm thinking of here.
Every night's a different color?
Go ahead and move on. I'll look it up and make sure.
Because I think I tried the one you're thinking of as well on Xbox, and it was pretty cool. It's cool for sure.
It is not what I was thinking of. So, yeah, I have not played it either.
Okay. All right, never mind. Moving on. For PS3, you have Zone of the Enders HD Collection and Amplitude. That's pretty cool because I heard Amplitude is awesome.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but never tried it myself.
Pick those up. For PS Vita, cross-buy with PS4, you have Fallen Legion, Flames of Rebellion. And for PS Vita alone, you have Super Mutant Alien Assault. So yeah, a lot of games there. Because I think we're coming up on the last few months that PlayStation Plus is offering older games, right? Aren't they ending it like at the end of this month or something?
Oh, yeah, there was a change coming up.
Yeah, because I think maybe it's in March, but they're hold on.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Sony has announced that PlayStation Plus will no longer offer free monthly PS3 and Vita games starting in 2019.
Yeah, that's
starting next year in March 8th of 2019. Okay, so
that doesn't make sense to me why they would do that though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's really confusing to me. I completely agree. Unless maybe I can't comprehend it.
You're just pushing away the people that only have a Vita and a PS3. You're just pushing them away. And so like what if that's the only reason why they still pay for PS Plus?
I mean, granted, it's probably highly unlikely, but there are those people for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it just doesn't seem like maybe the money they're bringing in from those people, from that group of people that have PS Plus, doesn't warrant them trying to get like the licensing deals to make a game, PS Plus. But who knows? There's probably a lot that goes into it, and maybe they'll announce something new at E3 like backwards compatibility.
But they're also not coming to E3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. At their own thing.
Yeah.
TBD. Probably next fall, I'd guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Moving on. You want to take some of these Twitch Prime guys?
Yeah, we have the Devolver Digital Pack, Hyperlight Drifter, Orwell, Republic, and Bomber Crew. The only one on there that really seems familiar to me is Hyperlight Drifter, and I don't think I've played it.
Yeah, I've not played Hyperlight Drifter, but I've heard a lot of good things, so I'll definitely... I mean, I pick up all these games every month just because they're free.
Yeah, you might as well.
And I have all the subscriptions, so... Yeah, moving on, let's start talking about some of the games we played and kind of flow into the news. I'll start. First game I've been playing, I got for Christmas, is Firewall Zero Hour. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, VR game for PlayStation 4, but that's about all I know.
Yeah, so Firewall Zero Hours, like you said, a VR game for PS4. You can play it with the DualShock, or you can play it with the PlayStation Aim controller, which is like a rifle-looking gun with like a move little ball at the end. And so I got the bundle for Christmas with the Aim controller. The game's awesome. It's essentially Rainbow Six Siege, but in VR. So
that's
it's
cool.
4-on-4. It's really, really fun. It's super addicting. I love the game to death. Like, because I almost bought it so many times before Christmas, but I know I had kind of planted the seed to my girlfriend to buy it for me. So I was like, I'll wait till after Christmas, and then we'll see if I get it. If not, I'll pick it up someday. But yeah, I'm glad that I got it. It's really fun, and it's very addicting. I mean, pretty much if you've played Siege, which everybody and their fucking cousin has played by now, because it's been free so many places over weekends and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty much that in VR, and the graphics are really good. The community in the game is awesome. I've never gone to a game and somebody like makes me feel like an idiot or like, oh god, you suck or anything like that. So like every person who has the game, they have the PSVR headset, and the PSVR headset has a mic built in. So there's no excuse for people not to have mics. So most of the people are talking to you, and everybody's communicating like, oh man, there's somebody over here, somebody over there. We got to back up. It's just a lot of fun.
That's cool.
A lot of teamwork involved for sure.
How does it handle like moving around and everything? Like, is there a joystick on the aim controller?
So so there's two joysticks on the aim controller. There's one on your left thumb, which is in front, like kind of by the barrel of the gun, and there's one in the back, on your back thumb. While your index finger's on the trigger or on the other side. But yeah, if you had asked me before I got it, like, I would have been like, yeah, I don't know, like I feel like it's gonna make me sick. Using the left stick to just kind of glide around the map, like it essentially works as a first-person shooter, but then you're aiming just with your gun. You can look down the sights of your gun. It's really cool. There's a lot of customization options, just like in Rainbow Six. Just like in Rainbow Six Siege. So yeah, you can customize what kind of scope you prefer, all that stuff. It's just a lot of fun to play.
All right.
But the sticks gliding around, I thought it would make me sick. I think it works fine. You even sprint and stuff. It's really cool.
All right. Is it a well-known developer?
I don't think so. Let me look it up real quick.
Right.
Firewall.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it from people, like coming into my store and everything. But obviously, I don't have a PlayStation VR, so I can't give it a try. But I don't know. It from the outside, it always looked like kind of a Call of Duty or a Rainbow Six clone to me. And usually those are just kind of bland. But with the VR, I guess that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, the one downside is it's kind of long in between rounds. So like, it seems like you spend a lot of your time between rounds as opposed to in the actual game. Obviously it depends on how fast you do the objective or kill the whole other team. But a lot of the time is in loading screens because once you finish a round, you have to go back to the lobby, and then it like counts down from like a minute and 30 seconds before the next round starts. And the loading takes a long time just because everything's in VR. I feel like most things in VR take longer to load. But yeah, so the game is developed by First Contact Entertainment, and I don't think they've made any games before this.
So they were probably made by Sony just to make VR games, I would guess. Then.
Yeah, they were founded in 2016, and they're based out of Santa Monica. So
okay, yep. All right, well, that's cool.
But yeah, great game. If you ever get the chance, like, try it out. Like, if you have a friend who has it or something, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's real cool.
My first game is Smash. Still playing it a ton. I've got all the characters unlocked, and I've done all of the classic modes for all the characters, which was a lot of fun. I think I talked about it last time, how much I really enjoyed the classic mode, and it's great. It's besides the actual Smash mode, it is my favorite thing about that game. I'm starting to move into World of Light. It's okay. It's kind of a more complicated spirit mode. Or, I mean, it is spirit mode. More complicated event mode, where like every battle is a different kind of set of circumstances. I like that part of it. I don't really care about the spirits overall. It'll tell me when I go into a fight if I'm underpowered or something with my spirit, and I'll switch it automatically. I don't even look at them. I don't really level them up on my own. It's just, they're just there. I do like the challenge in it, though. The battles are, they're not easy. Like, even at the beginning, they put up quite a fight. So it's hit or miss with me, but definitely play classic mode, and if the servers are working for you, play the online. Biggest letdown of the year for me is the servers for that game. But
oh yeah, definitely. Sorry, this is another game I've been playing a lot of as well, so I might as well talk about it as well. But I definitely get the Ethernet port USB dongle if you can.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been playing with that, and I've had no problem since I got it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Like, it makes a huge difference. And, like, before we had that, like, we were literally lagging every game. Like, you couldn't, like, you'll know instantly that the match is going to be laggy, because when it starts zooming in on the characters, like, to introduce them, it's just, like, you don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating when you get to a point where in the middle of the battle, it just freezes for, like, 30 seconds, and is just sitting there loading. So annoying.
And then, in that 30 seconds, the person who you're falling down on or whatever has time to adjust what they're doing just to hit you right away. It's real annoying. But yeah, Smash is fun. I've been playing it every day at work during lunch. There have been like 5 to 6 of us playing, so that's just been a blast.
Nah.
I unlocked all the characters the Saturday after it came out, just because I had friends over, and so we were just like, all right, we were kind of cheesing it. You know how you can back out. I think we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
How you could back out and go back in. So we were just trying to unlock them all so that we could play. But yeah, Smash is awesome. I played World of Light for like half hour, 45 minutes. It's alright. I think it's cool how like they take one character, like say the spirit that you're gonna unlock is like I don't even remember what any of them were. They're all from like different games. Like one of them was the chick from Final Fantasy VII. I can't remember her name.
Aurora.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that her name? No, it's not Aurora.
Blonde chick?
Wait.
I want to say it starts with an S.
I don't know. I'd never played Final Fantasy.
But anyway, like they had whoever it was, like Princess Zelda or something, fighting me, and she was doing moves that like they would do, you know, had they been in the game as a character, and they were playing like Final Fantasy VII music in the background. So stuff like that is really cool to me.
Yeah, no, that is really cool about World of Light, and there are tons of battles. It's like tons of people, like not even from Nintendo games. Like it's
It must have taken a long time for them to program, like, all right, this person in that game has a gun, so this character in the game has to only shoot his gun to attack this person, to attack, like, you as the player. And, like, that type of stuff is so cool to me.
Yeah, really cool. Do you want to go again, or do you want me to do my next one?
Oh, you can go ahead, because that was part of mine, too.
Okay. My next one is Diablo 3 on the Switch, and it is a great port of Diablo 3. I absolutely love it. When I'm not playing Smash, usually I play my Switch at nighttime when I'm just laying back in my bed about to go to sleep. Right now I'm just rotating between Diablo and Smash. I mean, it's the same exact game that everyone's played the last, 6-7 years. It's just fun being able to play it wherever. I enjoy playing it alone again. I haven't tried any multiplayer or anything yet, but it just runs so well on the Switch. And since it's such an older game, you don't really recognize any graphical liberties taken away from it, like you often get with like Doom or Rocket League even. I haven't really noticed anything taken away from like the original ports of it. So really good. If you enjoy Diablo 3, I definitely recommend getting it on Switch.
Yeah, that's one that I've contemplated getting before. I think I'm going to wait for a decent sale on it though. Just because, I have so many games right now, I still have to play like Assassin's Creed and stuff.
Yeah, but it recently was on sale at GameStop for like $40, so I grabbed it then.
Yeah, well, on Black Friday, the game for Xbox One and PS4 was on sale for $17, and somebody on Reddit figured out, like, they just asked somebody to get the Switch version of the game out of the case for them, and they went to the register, and it just scanned at $17 as well. So people rushed out to Walmart that day and bought them all.
Oh.
So by the time I went to Walmart that day, it was like at night, Friday night. I was like, yeah, I'll go see if they have it. Yeah, they didn't have any.
Yeah, that would have been an absolute steal.
Yeah, that's why I was going to go pick it up, just because I was like, man, $17? That's worth it. I have a buddy who actually like is very adamantly against Nintendo. Like he, enjoyed it as a kid, but he just sees them all as kid games now. He actually picked up a Switch recently so he could play Diablo and Civ 6. Like, Civ 6 is such a cool game to have on a Switch, but...
Yeah, and so that one's not even on Xbox or PS4, is it? It's only PC.
Yeah. No, yeah, this guy, he has an Xbox and PS4, and he's like a diehard Xbox guy, but he picked up a Switch basically to play Civ 6 on his TV, or on his handheld when he's watching TV. Really cool stuff.
Man, the Switch is just such an awesome console.
It really is. I'm excited to see what like the next iteration of that type of console will be like, whether it's PlayStation making a new handheld or something,
Mm-hmm.
Or it's Nintendo. Who knows? But I mean, granted, yes, Nintendo will make another version of the Switch at some point. Pretty much guaranteed with the success they've seen. But who knows? Maybe PlayStation can blow them out of the water with something like way more powerful if they end up going that route. Up next on my list, I've been playing some more Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I'm not very far in it. I just started playing it again today during lunch. But I think I'm going to get back into it quite hard because two of my coworkers just got Switches and Pokemon. So I have a feeling we're going to start playing that a bit more. Have you played it, right?
Yeah, I've got Pikachu as well. And I mean, I've run through Yellow, Red, and Blue 100 times when I was a kid. So
yeah, I mean, you played through Red like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
I remember you talking about.
Yeah, I played through it again not so long ago. The Let's Go games are really good. I mean, they do exactly what they aim to do. They bring back the Kanto region for those of us that grew up with it and really want to go back there, but it's also a easier barrier of entry for younger kids. And the best thing that it does, well, actually there's two things that it does brilliantly that I hope they incorporate into the future Pokemon games. The first one is cooperative play, which completely breaks the game. Like they need to like just tweak it a little bit because it gets to the point where it's too easy, where every battle you have two Pokemon against one.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I got some questions about this.
All right.
So my coworker got the game. He had it at work. We looked at the back of the box and it says, co-op play, and we were like, "What? Like that's not real. Like what do you even do in co-op play?" So we looked up a video. and we saw, just two trainers running around, and then they went into a battle, and it was 2-on-1. So, like, it doesn't scale up to difficulty. It just makes it super easy. Is that what happens?
Yeah, it's super easy.
And then, so that second person playing, do they have the same exact Pokemon as you, or how does that work?
It all has to be played on the one account. So say you have like two different accounts on your Switch, like I have for me and my daughter. It does not take that other person's account or anything. It is just pretty much a ghost trainer comes in and is using your next Pokemon in your party.
Oh, okay. So you still only have the 6 total.
Yeah, it's still the 6 total.
Okay.
It's just 2 are fighting at the same time.
I agree. I think it's an awesome idea, but it clearly is game breaking.
But that's what I'm saying. It just needs tweaked.
Yeah.
I love it.
But to be fair, Pokemon Let's Go is it's probably the easiest Pokemon game yet. And Pokemon, let's be honest, is pretty easy all around for all of them. But this is more of an introductory game for kids to get into the franchise.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying with the next generation that is supposed to be coming at the end of this year, I really hope that they bring it back, but they tweak it a little bit so it's not completely broken like that. The other thing I wanted to bring up is the Pokemon appearing in the world, where it's not just an RNG telling you what you found this time. I love that.
It's not random.
I love that I can just see a Pokemon, and if I want it, I can go after it, and if I don't, I can just avoid it.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And, like, to be fair, if they wanted to make it as hard as, the cave was back in the day with all the goddamn Zubats, they could just literally do the same thing they're doing with Let's Go, but put 2 or 3 times the amount of Zubats. So you can still avoid some of them. You're just not going to avoid them all.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think it's really cool, especially because, like, for instance, I don't really do hunt for shinies in those games, but I know a lot of people do, and that's a big part of the game for them. And I was watching a stream of some dude just like literally like running around looking for shinies, and it just seems so much easier this way.
Yeah, you have to catch like 40 or 50 of the same Pokemon in a row to get it or something.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah. I got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu at launch. I expected me and my daughter to play it through completely. So I really didn't jump into it on my own because I wanted her to experience all of it. But surprising to me, I knew I was going to fall off it once Smash came out because that was what I was looking forward to the most. I did not really foresee my daughter getting into Smash as much as she has as well. Like, she comes over and she plays it.
I want to hear about that because, like, yeah, me and you, we're giant fucking man-children and love video games. And most of the people, I think, who appreciate Smash for what it is are around our age. So what does your daughter think of it as, like, a little kid now playing Smash?
Okay, so when she plays, of course, I set it to, like, the easiest settings. I put her against 3, sometimes I'll do the 7 other bots and just have, like, this big royale for her. Everyone's at level 1, and then I'll set up, like, different scenarios for her where I'd say, hey, okay, choose a Pokemon. She would choose a Pokemon. I would choose other Pokemon as her opponents and only put Pokeballs as the item. So I like try and keep it interesting like that, kind of like the event mode, but I've also just let her just play on her own, and she just loves it. She loves that she can play Isabelle, Pikachu, like all those people that she loves. Like, yeah, like it's these people that you and me. Have you ever played Animal Crossing?
No, I know the people from the game, like Villager and all that, but I've never been into the game.
So yeah, like people like that we don't care about, but she had a New Leaf on her DS and she loves Isabelle, so she's ecstatic that she can play as her. Even people that she hasn't really recognized, like what was it? I can't think of who it was. Lucina, that's it. She's like, oh, I like her. She's cool. Like, she'd never heard of Fire Emblem. She has no idea what it is, but she thought Lucina looked awesome, so she gave her a try. Like, the roster is just so massive there. There's something for everyone.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Exciting, man. Yep. All right, what's your next game?
All right, next up, I got back into Far Cry 5. I originally started playing this when it first came out. I kind of fell off for some personal reasons, but I picked it up again recently, and oh my god, it's so much fun.
It is. Like, the gunplay in that game is ridiculously cool. Like, it's so smooth, all the gun movements. I wish that translated into the multiplayer so bad.
Yeah, that's one thing that I haven't tried out yet, but I've been meaning to, but I'm kind of just powering through the campaign right now. I think that's the way to do it. Just power through the campaign. Gotcha. The campaign is just so much fun. I've been exclusively playing it with a friend in co-op, and it's just so much fun. Like we'll just be playing, doing nothing, and just something insane will happen. Like a plane will come out of nowhere and just crash into the ground, and we're like, "What the fuck was that?" There are still some bugs I've been noticing with it. Like, I had one mission where I was stealing an airplane, and I told my friend to get in it with me, and it didn't load in on his screen. So
you were just flying?
On my screen, my guy was just bobbing up and down. And he's like, there's no airplane. I'm like, then how can I do this? And I flew out and just went off into the distance in the air. So it was just my body flying around. It's just insane. It doesn't take itself too seriously. That's one thing about the Just Cause games that I really want to give a try and get into. But Far Cry is just filling that so perfectly for me right now.
Yeah, speaking of Just Cause, I'm surprised they made a fourth one, to be honest. Because I know people play them, but I didn't think enough people were buying the games to justify them to keep making them after 3.
It's Just Cause.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? They all seem like the same game to me, so.
They probably are. I haven't really gotten. I've played 2, like, very little of it, like maybe a half hour of it.
Yeah,
3,
I think we talked about this before.
3, I always hear is the best one, and I think that's where, like, they integrated the most new stuff. From what I've heard of 4, it was kind of disappointing, and they added very little, and, like, even the stuff they added that was supposed to be big, like the storms and everything, are just kind of underwhelming.
Okay, so it's like Far Cry 4 to Far Cry 5, or Far Cry 3 to 4, essentially.
That's what I hear.
Okay, it's a lot of the same.
Generally, what I hear is you should still give 3 a try.
Gotcha. All right, moving on, I played a few hours of Kingdom Hearts 1. I texted you about it. I needed advice on where to start because I have the... Fuck, I don't even know what it's called. Which one do I have, John?
The 1.5 plus 2.5
yeah, whatever
remix.
The fuck that means.
Or
That's
final
the one
mix.
I don't know, the PS4 one.
Yeah.
I booted it. It's like, all right, let's try Kingdom Hearts. You know, everybody's hyped for the new one. Let's at least give it a shot to decide, you know, if I want to play through them or not. Booted it, got to the main menu. Literally nothing registered in my mind. I'd never been more confused in my life. like I texted John a picture of it, and I was like, where do I start? And he goes, you want to start with that one, like the, you know, whatever the first game was. I was like, all right. And he's like, yeah, but don't play this, this, and this. Yeah. You can play this, but it'll take long and it's boring, but I can just explain that to you. I was like, all right. So I played a few hours of 1. I got to, I guess spoilers if you're thinking of playing Kingdom Hearts 1 nowadays, but the end of the Alice in Wonderland world.
All right.
Where you have to fight some boss on your way out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't beat him. I tried like 10 to 15 times and I gave up.
My best recommendation for you would just be go grinding. Just level up. That's seriously the best way to get past bosses.
Really?
Yeah. No, I definitely recommend you trying that and then just giving it another try. Just get past that first boss fight. At first, the boss fights can seem pretty tough, but once you like get a real understanding of the controls of Kingdom Hearts and everything, it's really worth it.
Okay, so essentially every time I get to a boss, I should start grinding.
Yeah.
If I can't beat him.
If you can't beat him, just give it a try. I remember
that makes sense.
when I was a kid, so Alice in Wonderland is the second world you play on.
Yes.
And then after that, there's a Tarzan world. I remember the boss for the Tarzan world when I was a kid. I had a lot of trouble with, and it took me a long time to beat him. And I at first I've always been like really stubborn about that. I want to avoid grinding, so I will just keep bashing my head up against the wall and I'll keep failing. But once I finally go and level up and everything and you get by it, one, it's really relieving to just finally be past it, but two, it just opens up so much more for you.
Yeah, so far, like, I'm kind of into it. The story's kind of confusing to me.
Oh, just wait.
What's happening.
Just wait.
So, like, I don't understand why people like the game so much if it's this confusing.
The first one isn't as confusing. It's when you think of just the first one on its own, you can understand it. It's the worlds are disappearing because the Heartless are getting into the keyholes and they're taking all the worlds in the darkness. You're Sora, you have the Keyblade, you're trying to lock those keyholes so the Heartless stop getting in.
Yeah, okay.
So that's pretty much the big part of it that I'll tell you for now until you get later in the game.
Like I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't know if it's gonna be soon, because I have some other games I want to play as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I'm not trying to rush through the game so I can play 3 when it comes out. I'll just wait on it. Like I've waited this long. Like what's waiting? More. So yeah, I'm just gonna play through it at whatever rate I do, and hopefully talk more about it in the future.
We know when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I'll be talking a lot about that.
Yeah. Moving on. What's your one of your last 2 here?
All right. So for Culture of Gaming, I recently reviewed Below. That's the indie game that was like, I don't want to say it was in development hell, but it was delayed for a really long time.
Yeah, it was delayed a bunch. I do know that. Like, it's been at E3 for years now.
Yeah, so it finally came out in December. I reviewed it, and it's okay. Not necessarily a game for me. It's a very unforgiving game. So, and it's also just really confusing. I think it like tries to be Dark Souls in areas, but whatever. So it starts off, you're this wanderer, and you're on the ship. You get to this island. There's no backstory or anything. It's just, okay, you're on this island. Go do stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I go walking around, pick up some crafting materials, pick up a lantern, and oh, hey, I can go underground. So from what I understand, like, you're just supposed to keep going further underground, and there's a bunch of enemies. You have to watch your food bar and your water bar, so there's like so many different ways to die. You can just randomly step on a spike trap and instantly die, and once you die, that's it. It's a permadeath game, so it'll bring in another guy to the island and you have to start all over. So the thing is, that lantern that you pick up at the beginning of the game is always with the last person who died, so you have to actually go and find it, because that lantern is the only way to open up some doors, and it's dark down there. It's essential for you to have it. But the thing about that is it's also a randomly generated world that even when you die, the rooms that you were in change. So it's a different path to it every time, with different monsters, different traps, and everything. And it's
interesting.
It's really cool at first, but God, when you die just a few times, it is so aggravating. It is.
Yeah, because I did start this game, and I played about 20 minutes or so. I found the lantern. I didn't know I was looking for a lantern, and then I just stumbled upon it. And then I went down into some cave, and that's around when I stopped. So I didn't know about the whole, permadeath thing or any of that.
Yeah, it's
the art style is cool.
No, the art style of it is awesome. I don't really like the camera placement, but the art style is cool, and the sound design is really well done. Gameplay of it just isn't for me, but I'm also the kind of guy that doesn't like those Dark Soul type games. although I don't really know if you can compare it. In my review, I kind of did, because it just seems like it tries to be hard just to be hard, because Dark Souls is hard. You know what I mean? Like, that's the big
there's
thing
a lot of games
that's
trying to do
popular
that now.
about it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of games nowadays are trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're hard. Like, we're hard like Dark Souls is hard.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but
I'm not a fan of that. When you look at Cuphead, which was a very hard game, but
Yeah.
I loved it because it was fair in its harshness.
I don't know what it is about Cuphead, but like, I love the art style. I love the music. Like, I have a vinyl for it. I've always like every time I go to Best Buy, they have like the Mugman Funko Pop. And I'm like, you know, like, I want to buy it, but I'm not going to buy them unless they have Cuphead too. So every time I'm at like a store and I walk by the Funko Pops, I'm like, let's see if they got Cuphead. Nobody's had it yet. I saw like some weird like airplane version of Cuphead. I was like, nope, he's not original Cuphead. I want the OG Cuphead and Mugman. But yeah, I love everything about that game, but I still have not played through the whole thing. Like, I've played maybe an hour or two of it, but not through the whole thing. Back on Below though. We're getting really sidetracked. How long is that game?
You know what? I never actually finished it because I got so frustrated with how many times I died. I looked it up though, and there's like, I believe it was 8 different levels to it, but it just takes so long once you die to find your stuff. You can set the campfires to transport you to a place your guy was recently at, but that's like only a one-time thing. And I don't know, man. It's such an aggravating game. I really don't know how long it is. I could look it up quick on how long to beat, but
yeah, that's what I'm looking for, and I don't see it.
It, with how much the world changes and all the different
oh man. So, sorry. Main story 26 hours.
Yeah.
Completionist 35 hours. That's longer than I expected.
Yeah, it's really long. Yeah, it's just very aggravating to me.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out again. For you, I'd say try and beat it, man. You played a lot of it sounds like, so that might be a game that you just have there, you know, just looking at you. Like, for me, it was Guacamelee. For months, I would be like, I can't fucking beat this part. And then I would wait like 3 months, come back to it, try for an hour. Nope, not happening. I eventually beat Guacamelee 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just wait until Guacamelee 2 is a game with gold or something before I even attempt it.
So, I mean, I have the game. Like I said, it was for review purposes. I got it for free, so it will always be there for me to try. But the difference between you and, or me and my Below and you and your Guacamelee situation is imagine if your Guacamelee situation, every time you died, you had to start the entire game over.
Yeah, I definitely understand.
I mean, that just takes it away from me.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Moving on, my last game I've been playing, and I've been playing a lot of it, is Battlefield 5. It's just more Battlefield, man. Battlefield 1 I didn't really get into. I've said multiple times on the podcast. I don't know. I just didn't really like the World War I setting. Like, graphically and everything was cool. It played well. But I just wasn't a fan of the guns. It just seemed too slow to me. Which makes sense, because, you know, technologically we weren't there yet. But Battlefield 5 is a lot of fun. World War II setting. They added, you know, because you can't release a first-person or competitive shooter at all anymore without some sort of battle pass system.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it's free. Like, you don't have to pay for it. You just get XP towards the levels. And you get unlocks every level. They have this thing called Tides of War, which is kind of another version of that same battle pass system. So it changes every week in that. So if you complete all the tasks, then you get some sort of epic loot. Like, 1 week it was a really cool looking helmet. This week I think it is a gun, which reminds me I might have to do that right after the podcast because I think it ends today, and I'm on the last step. But yeah, Battlefield 5, I'm having a blast with it, playing with friends. I feel like that's really the only way to play Battlefield games, is if you have, you know, 1 or 2 other people to play with, or full squad preferably. That's when you really, really start winning a bunch of games. and they added a new system in where if your squad scores a certain amount of points, so for instance, you can get this, I think it's called a V12 rocket or something, and that's if your squad scores 41,500 points throughout the round. And this rocket, like, you call it in on, say, the enemy team has D, and you call in the rocket, and you aim your binoculars at where you want the rocket to drop, and it essentially acts as like a small nuke, and it'll kill like so many people in that objective if they're there. And so it's really cool. It really makes you work more as a squad than previous games have. But overall, yeah, Battlefield 5 is awesome. It's more Battlefield. They've added new stuff to it. Of course, EA servers suck most of the time. Like, if you're in a squad with 4 people, I'd say every 5 matches somebody's not going to load into the game for one reason or another. But that's how every Battlefield game has been for like 8 years now. It's getting kind of ridiculous, but I've been having fun with it either way. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, enjoying it. I'm sure I'll still be playing it for months to come.
Alright. I haven't played Battlefield 5 yet. Never been much of a big Battlefield guy. I've always chosen Call of Duty over it, so I just like the feel and the speed of Call of Duty over Battlefield. But I do acknowledge there are cool things about Battlefield. This one has been like abnormally quiet, though. I believe like there's just not much talk about it at all, really, since it released. Is there?
No, yeah, not really. And I think it mainly because they delayed the Battle Royale mode. Because
yeah,
people were talking about it, you know, before it came out, and then like, was it like a few weeks, 3 weeks to a month before it came out? Well, no, first of all, they delayed it a month, and then I think that's when they also announced, and the Battle Royale's not coming out till March.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it, is like, it's not just that it was delayed like a couple weeks or a month. It was delayed like 4 months. Which, at a time...
yeah, the Battle Royale mode.
Was that?
Yeah, you're talking about the Battle Royale
Yeah, the Battle Royale mode. Which, at this time, that cannot happen for a game like Battlefield 5, where you've got Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is its biggest competition. Like, it's every time there's a Battlefield out, it's always, is it Call of Duty or Battlefield this year? Which one's better? Well, this year, Black Ops 4 came out with Blackout, and there's like a ton of people that absolutely love that. Like, there's so much talk about Blackout still being fun. And then, of course, you have your Fortnite, which is still the biggest game, one of the biggest games in the world right now. PUBG has kind of fallen off, but it's still really popular. So I just can't believe that DICE would allow their Battle Royale mode to just be delayed by so much, because who knows, what if by March everyone does just out of nowhere fall off Battle Royale, like in general.
Yeah, I completely agree. I also think that this game mode being delayed, like, I don't think this is likely, but I think it could have been delayed intentionally as well. You know, them seeing like how flooded the Battle Royale market is with new games coming out this fall. You know, Black Ops being the main one. Them seeing how successful it is, how everybody's talking about it, they're like, oh shit, like, we can't release ours now, you know. It could be that it's coming out in March, and, you know, it'll get more people than it would because it's coming out at a time when there's no other BRs coming out. But
I could see that if it was,
it's going to be cheaper because it's on sale like every week now already.
Yeah, but that's not what they intended.
Oh no, yeah, I know.
But I could see your argument if it was anyone but EA. EA, I mean, they want that money. They want it now. And, I mean, they even threw Titanfall out there because they thought it would get them more money in a shorter time in between Battlefield 1 and whatever Call of Duty game was that year. So yeah, just with EA, they throw out the stuff just to get the money now. I really think this was all on DICE delaying it.
Yeah, who knows? We'll probably never find out, but I'll give it a shot when it comes out since I have the game. We'll see how it is.
All right, my last game, MLB The Show 18. That's the newest one, right? Or do they do the 1 year ahead thing?
Yeah, 14, I believe, is
Yeah.
the newest.
Whatever the newest one is. I had actually texted you to see if you bought it digitally because, man, I've just been in a mood for baseball lately. I miss my baseball.
Did you just buy it? Because I think I saw you were playing it.
I borrowed it from my work. I didn't actually buy it.
Cool.
When 19 comes out, if you don't buy it, I probably will. Yeah, I just really miss baseball right now. Football's been going on, and I don't know, I've just really fallen off it the last couple of years. So I'm just like, man, I just want some baseball. So I popped this in this week, started playing it, and this is my first the show game I've played since PS2 days. So it might have been 06 or 07. Whatever one had David Ortiz on the cover.
Oh, that was 05, right?
Yeah, it was
MVP baseball. Oh,
no, it was the show. It was the show.
Yeah, you're right. Then you're right.
But yeah, so I gotta say, for this being my first time playing this in probably over a decade, I'm kind of disappointed in it. You know,
why is that?
So there are parts of it that I think are amazing. Like, so I'm a huge Cardinal fan, and so I choose the Cardinals, and I started a franchise, and I played 2 games last night. So they have little details nailed down, like the in between pitches, they're like bat swing. Like, from what I saw, all of the characters, it was right on with what that character would be.
Yeah.
Even the batting stances for like each individual character looks really well done.
Yeah, I agree.
But then I hit spots where I'm like, but why didn't they go further on this? So like Dexter Fowler, you're not a Cubs fan, right? You're a White Sox fan?
I know, yeah, I'm a Sox fan.
All right, so Dexter Fowler has been in the league for, who knows, 8 years now.
Yeah.
He's on my bench. My right fielder gets injured, so I put him in. First at bat, Dexter Fowler comes up. I get a base hit with him, and it says that's his first ever major league hit. And I'm like, what? It's just like, no, that's not right at all. And then like it's doing the whole like throwing the ball over for him to keep and everything. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but okay. And then I look at other players, like I have shit, I'm blanking on his name now. Center fielder for the Cardinals. This is really gonna bug me, but really speedy guy, kind of short. In the game, he looks just like Bryce Harper. So it's just like, okay, so they couldn't give him his own thing. Like they just kind of just put Bryce Harper's likeness to him because it didn't. I don't know. It's really cool, but I'm just like, I want it to be better than it is. I don't know. I'm still looking forward to 19, and I probably will buy it. Like I said, if you don't buy it, because I just need more baseball in my life. But
yeah, I love the games. I buy them every year. Like,
also,
when you texted me that, I looked at my shelf. I was like, did I buy that digitally? It's like, nope, because I have 16, 17, and 18 all on my shelf.
Yeah. Also, graphically, I feel like it looks like it's a PS3 game overall. I feel like it could run just fine on the PS3 if it were made for that. It just...
Well, see, that's where I disagree with you, because I bought it when the PS4 or MLB 16 the show was out. I did not have a PS4, nor did I have the funds to buy one because I was a broke college kid. So I bought a PS3 online for cheap, and then I bought the show, and it was hot garbage. And it like literally it like chugged along, like it was rough, like the graphics looked rough. And then I bought a PS4, and it like literally blew my mind how much better it looked and played.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I'd never had a PS3, so I'm just saying, from what I've seen and everything, especially comparing it to games like Madden and NBA 2K, it just doesn't look as good. It's not on the same level as those graphic wise.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with there. But I still have a blast playing it. I love the Battle Royale mode. I think it's called online. Right?
I don't know. I only got into the franchise.
Fuck. Oh, Diamond Dynasty, I think is what I'm thinking of. Where you get the cards, all that stuff. I love it in those games. I play a bunch of it. But yeah, MLB 19 the show. We'll definitely be playing that one way or another. I'm sure I'll just end up picking it up. because I usually get the MVP edition for all those extra stubs. But we'll see.
All right.
Let's go on to the news. Let's try and get through these pretty fast because
yeah, we are running long today.
Yeah, we are. First set of news we have is from IGN.com. Hope Corrigan writes, original Pokemon movie possibly getting a CGI remake. It's possible the upcoming Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, will be a CGI remake of the original Pokemon film, which first released in 1998 in Japan. Eurogamer reports that fan speculation after release of the new teaser trailer for the movie has leaned further into the idea that this new film will indeed be a remake. Furthermore, almost all of the brief footage in this clip is CGI, leaving fans to speculate that perhaps this movie will be the first of its kind entirely animated using these graphics. This makes sense if it's true because, Pokemon Let's Go is a remake of the original, get the kids back into the game, and it just makes sense for them to remake the first movie in CGI for kids to watch and to then get into the movies and the show.
Yeah, did you see the teaser for it?
I'm watching it now. It shows like 1998 and then crowds and stuff going to see the movie, I'm assuming. Or is this... No, this is something else.
The only thing I saw was it was just a Mewtwo flying through the air, and it looked really cool. I hope it's an actual remake of it because I love that movie. So I just thought it was really cool, so I threw it in here.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Mewtwo running through the air.
Yeah, going through clouds and everything.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who posted this video on Twitter, but it looks like I think it's Pokemon Japan. They posted a teaser. If you click on that IGN link, there's a video embedded in there, and it says 1998, and then it shows old school clips of Pokemon.
Gotcha.
From 98 when people were going to see the movie. And then it says 2019, and then it shows that Mewtwo stuff that you described.
Oh, yeah, I never saw that. I just saw the Facebook Pokemon channel put up a thing saying the legend is back, and it just showed all that Mewtwo stuff.
All right, John, you want to take the next set of news?
All right, so for the month of November, Red Dead Redemption 2 has commanded the US game sales for November with Black Ops, Battlefield, and Fallout behind. So this article that I'm getting this from is by Imran Khan of Game Informer, but he's just got the list for the NPD up right here, so I'm just going to go off of that. So, like I said, Red Dead Redemption 2 was the best-selling game in November, followed by Black Ops 4, Battlefield 5, and Fallout 76. Interesting to me, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are at numbers 5 and 6. They did not combine those two, so I really think if they made that just one SKU, that would have been up there with Black Ops 4 or something. Definitely would have beaten Fallout, which I'm very surprised to see so high, but I guess it did just come out in November, so that was before all of the backlash and everything.
Yeah.
Rounding out the top 10, we have NBA 2K19, Madden NFL 19, Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, and FIFA 19. Also, some honorable mentions in there is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Super Mario Party, and Spider-Man. Still doing great, and Mario Kart 8 also up there as well, which is amazing for how long ago that came out.
Yeah, I agree. Red Dead 2 sold a lot, which was expected. I don't think it's going to sell as much as GTA has been over the past, 9 years almost? 8 years maybe?
Definitely not.
But, yeah, it's still selling a lot. Up next, we have an article from GameSpot.com written by Jordan Ramier? I don't know how you say that. Titled "A New Marvel Game is Being Developed by Former Blizzard Devs." In 2018, former Hearthstone director Ben Brody and several of his co-workers left Blizzard and founded a new company, now known to be called Second Dinner. The indie studio has announced that it's begun work on its first title, and it will be a Marvel game. Second Dinner has received a $30 million investment from NetEase, which will go towards supporting the studio as it develops this first game. Second Dinner has not revealed details about the Marvel game. However, an announcement video did reveal that the studio has been working on the title for 6 months and already has a working prototype. That's cool. I love Marvel. You love Marvel. Pretty sure everybody loves Marvel nowadays. Interested to see what it is. I'm sure at some point we're going to get some information about it, maybe at E3. Do you think it's a card game?
Yeah, I do. Especially if they already have a prototype after 6 months, and I believe it said that these were Hearthstone devs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I 100% believe it's a card game then. So
yeah, that doesn't give me any hope then, because I feel like Hearthstone's dying pretty fast.
Blizzard, just overall, people are getting a kind of negative view towards them lately, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like,
right?
Everything's been going downhill for them lately. And even, like, those card games in general, it's so saturated. You have Gwent, you have Hearthstone, which Hearthstone's probably the biggest out of all of them, right?
I would say so, yeah.
You also have, isn't there a Fable one? Or is that
yeah, there is. Yeah, it is.
There's just so many of them, and I feel like there's not that much room. You have the Magic the Gathering games that are on Xbox. It's just such a saturated market for too niche of an audience. I don't think that it's going to be successful.
But it is a huge win for them to get Marvel. Like, for their very first game, Marvel is licensing their property to them. Like, that's crazy.
I agree.
Really cool, though. Just that name alone gives them a chance to be successful.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Marvel name will sell no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
So that does it for some of the big news the past week or two. Let's move on to the topic of the show, which is our top 5 most anticipated games of 2019 and beyond, because I have an article here with a bunch of games, 49 big games from IGN. And I will open that up so we can go through that at the end. But I will start. I don't have mine in any particular order. I just have games I'm kind of interested in. The first one on my list is Anthem. It comes out, is it end of February or is it March? I don't know.
February.
So, as you know, I'm a big fan of Destiny as a whole, the entire franchise. And this is supposed to be somewhat similar to the way that game works. So I'm interested. Graphically, the game looks cool from what I've seen. Maybe I'll get into one of the betas and try it out just to see if I'm going to like it or not. But I anticipate I will enjoy playing it. So yeah, Anthem's on my list.
Cool. I'm very hit and miss on Anthem. Like, part of me wants it to be really good, but the other part of me is like, okay, it's another Destiny game, and it looks kind of slow. Graphics on it do look gorgeous, though, like you said. So I just really don't know until it comes out or we see a beta. I just really don't know where to lean on it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, but it's like, after looking at the list of all the games this year that that we know about, at least all the major releases, this is probably one of my top 5.
I got you.
Just in terms of we know is coming.
Yeah. My first one would be Division 2. I really liked the first Division game. Once the DLC came out, though, I was completely lost on it. But the base game, I really enjoyed. I 100%ed the base game. And it was just, it was a lot of fun. There was definitely areas for them to improve. And I really hope that they do with the second one coming out here. I think it's in March or April, right?
I think March, but yeah, that it's also on my list as well. The Division 1 was a lot of fun. I just love any game like that where you can do, pretty much do the whole game co-op online.
Yeah.
I wish I had played more of Division 1 after the DLC came out, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah, I heard it got better. I gave the Railroad one a try, and I was not impressed at all by it. So disappointing, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah, me too. Should be fun when it comes. I know that there's stuff right now in Division 1 you can do to get gear in Division 2. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I don't know if it's gear or what it is, but you can unlock stuff by doing something in Division 1 now that'll carry you over to 2. So I'm interested. Maybe I'll look into that.
That's cool.
If I get hyped up enough for Division 2. Another game on my list is Crackdown 3. I loved Crackdown 1. Didn't really play Crackdown 2. But I've been excited for Crackdown 3 since it got announced 18 years ago. But yeah, it seems like we're finally going to get it in a little over a month here. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it. It's going to be on, Xbox Game Pass day it comes out. So
yep, it will.
There's really no reason for people not to at least give it a shot if you have Game Pass when it comes out. But we'll see. Hopefully it turns out being good. Hopefully these delays were good delays, which I anticipate they were. I anticipate that they probably realized how much people loved the Terry Crews video they made. And they're like, oh, fuck. We need more Terry Crews in this game. And they delayed it again. So that's my thought. But yeah, Crackdown 3, I'm sure will be a good time regardless. Because Xbox can't afford for that game to be bad.
No, after the last showing of it at XO18, I'm kind of on. I was never hugely into the first Crackdown, and I never played the second one. What they showed at XO18 though did look like a lot of fun, and plus Terry Crews. So yeah,
yeah, and I think that's what they realized is that okay, we have a decent game, but we can't afford to lose money on this.
Yeah, for sure.
We need more Terry Crews. That's what the people want.
All right. Next up, my next one is actually a DLC. It's Cuphead's Delicious Last Course, which is just an add-on for Cuphead. It's coming. Did they ever give a release date for it? I think they just said 2019. But it's a new isle with a whole bunch of new bosses. You can play as the legendary Chalice as well. Really looking forward to it. Like we were talking earlier, we both really enjoy Cuphead. Just the art style, the sound, just everything about it is just really well made, and I'm really excited to see it in action.
Yeah, that game, we're not going to see a Cuphead 2 for a long time because it's been taking them this long just for DLC, which makes sense. The art style, it's all hand-drawn.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I still got to play through the game. I know I will eventually. It's just not something that's, jumping out at me right now. Moving on. So I actually have 2 more. One of them's not on my list because we don't know about it. First up, I have Gears 5. Gears 5, I'm pretty sure has been said that it's coming out this year. I think they said that at E3 last year when they gave us a small teaser. I love the Gears games all around. Gears 4 was, fun for what it was. It's kind of rebooting the franchise in a way. It's not a legit reboot, but it's just kind of like a, distant future with Marcus Phoenix's son, JD Phoenix. And it looks like in Gears 5 we're going to get more of some of the side characters. So JD Phoenix isn't necessarily the main character in it.
Yeah, he seems like a background character almost now, right?
Yeah, which is kind of weird in my eyes, I think. But who knows? Maybe they realize that they have something better to do with one of these other characters, so they're kind of trying to make it a completely different thing now.
Yeah, I don't know. I still have to run through 3 and 4, so I'm way behind on it. But I know a lot of people are hyped about it. Plus, you got the other Gears games come out, like Gears of War Tactics and the Funko phone game. So
yeah, whatever that might end up being.
So yeah, you're definitely gonna get your share of Gears of War this year.
Yep, that's for sure.
Next up, I've got Control, which is Remedy's newest game. The guys that made Alan Wake and Quantum Break. There we go.
Quantum Break, yep.
Yeah. So I played through both of those games last year, I think it was. And I just really enjoyed both of them. Just such well-made games. So Control looks like it takes place maybe in space. I don't really know, but like your character has like all these force pushing powers and everything. It looks insane, and I really am excited to see more of it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Quantum Break before. It looked beautiful. I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, I'm interested to see what Control is as a whole, but I don't know. As of right now, I'm not that excited. As I was kind of saying, the other game that's not on my list because it hasn't been confirmed or anything is a new Halo game. We are well due in for another Halo.
Well, Infinite, but I doubt it's coming this year.
I hope it does. I think it'd be awesome, but I don't think it is either.
Nah.
But I could easily see it coming out this year, but I think it's a next year game for whatever the next gen console is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, I've got the next generation of Pokemon, which we know is coming to the Switch. They keep saying this year, so probably October or November again. I mean, we don't know anything about it besides that it's coming to the Switch. So, kind of like what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about Let's Go Pikachu. I hope they keep in the co-op stuff, but they tweak it so it's not as game-breaking, and they also keep in some other aspects of it because it really improved the Pokemon gameplay style overall. And I'm just excited to see where they go from there.
Yeah, Pokemon is Pokemon, and I will always love it, including all the Pokemon cards I have in my apartment right now.
There you go.
I think that's it for me.
Oh yeah, because you have the
Dreams,
Division
Dreams.
2. Yeah.
Dreams.
Oh yeah, Dreams. Yep.
I've heard that it's going to be cool. I have no idea. It seems like a cool idea to me, but I could easily see it fail. I could easily see it fail just like Project Spark did before it.
Yeah,
Because Project Spark kind of had the same idea, but who knows? Sony's still funding this game, and they must see something in it that makes them think it could be successful.
I mean, it's kind of on the same terms as Crackdown 3 of just being delayed into oblivion, right?
Yeah, and completely.
So yeah, I mean, from the very little I've seen of it, like it doesn't look like a thing for me, just because I'm not that creative. But I mean, I don't hope that it fails or anything. I hope it is as ambitious as it's setting out to be, and that people can get a lot of interesting stuff made within it. But we'll see when it comes out finally. Have they given a release date for it, or is it still just it might come out this year?
No, I know that the beta came out at the end of last year, like sometime in December. If you pre-ordered the game, or no, if you had signed up for their newsletter before a certain date, you got granted into the beta. I don't think they announced an official release date yet.
Wasn't that almost also like promised like 2 years ago though, the beta?
Yeah, it was, and they actually promised that it would come out in 2018, and they actually fulfilled that promise.
All right.
So good on them, I guess.
All right.
And what is your last game that you are anticipated for?
I mean, it's Kingdom Hearts 3. I've been waiting 13, 14 years for this game to come out. I mean, it's...
Okay, how many hours do you anticipate it being?
So, the rumors are it's about 80 hours.
Okay, and how many days do you think it'll take you to beat?
Oh.
You think you're gonna power through that in a week?
No. Because I'll have other stuff I'll have to work on
Okay.
between work and my daughter and everything. It'll definitely take more than a week for me to finish it. But I do want to... I want to get through the main story as fast as possible. One, because of spoilers. The game is already out there for some people, so like anytime I see Kingdom Hearts mentioned in any online source whatsoever, I stay away from it, just in case.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I want to power through it for that, and we will see just how, when the game comes out, we will see if I want to like actually go through and try and get everything. They just said it's 80 hours long. I doubt that's the main story. That's probably like trying to 100% it and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would guess it would probably take me 2-3 weeks to get through the story.
Okay, that seems like pretty on par with how most people played Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, so
Which
I
is probably
think,
like similar scope and time in terms of length.
yeah,
of the game.
And also, since I've run through all of the Kingdom Hearts games in the past year, I don't want to burn myself out on it. So that's why I'm glad I finished when I did. So I do have this time to just really relax and just let my hype build up even more for the game.
I mean, when Kingdom Hearts when Kingdom Hearts 3.287 comes out in 2034, you want to be fresh.
Yeah,
like you want to be
as
excited.
Fresh as possible.
You don't want to be burned out now.
No. The story might get convoluted then. Just like I said though, I've been waiting well over a decade for this game, as well as so many other people. So it's coming out right at the beginning of the year, which I think is awesome. It's in a spot where there really isn't much around it. Resident Evil 2 is coming out around the same time. It's like 4 days before that, so like a lot of people will be into that. Luckily, I like Resident Evil, but not that much, so I'm just gonna be plowing through Kingdom Hearts as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I like Resident Evil as a whole, but I'm not really into it. If I buy any Resident Evil, it's gonna be 7, and I'm gonna play it in VR to scare the shit out of me.
That would be the one area that I would hate to do it, but I will do it.
That's why I haven't bought it yet, because I know as soon as I buy it, I'm committing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go on this. IGN has a article that was put together by their staff that just titled 49 Big Games Coming in 2019. Some of the games we talked about are on here, among others, so I'm just going to kind of go through some of the big ones I see. We already talked about Ace Combat 7, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing is a big one.
Supposedly coming this year.
Battletoads. Completely forgot that was even coming.
Yeah, and we don't even know what that's going to be. Like, no idea.
All they've shown is the logo for it.
Yeah. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is another game people are excited for. Control, you talked about. Crackdown 3. Crash Team Racing. Nitro Fueled.
That's going to be big for a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm excited just because I love kart racers as a whole. I don't really remember playing CTR as a kid, but I'm sure I've played it before.
Mm-hmm.
Days Gone, April 26th. That's a big one. Dead or Alive 6, if you like seeing almost naked anime women fight.
I think this one's supposed to be better. It's like not. It's
not as
they're more they're more focused on like the gameplay of it, and like it's more respectable clothing, I guess.
Okay. Devil May Cry 5 coming out March 8th.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Oh, Far Cry New Dawn, another. I wouldn't say that's a major one. I mean, especially with Far Cry 5 coming out last year, we'll see what it does.
It seems like a just kind of, hey, they like this game, let's remake it a little bit and throw it out.
Oh,
so
here's another one, In the Valley of Gods, which is made by the same team that made Firewatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You see, it says, while it's technically a Valve game now, because Campo Santo got bought by Valve. So yeah, I'm interested in that just because Firewatch is a game that I did not think I would like looking into it, but one of my friends was like, here, you're game sharing with me on Steam, try it out. And I played through the whole thing. He's like, it'll take you 2 hours, just play through the whole thing. And I actually loved it. It was a great game. Yeah. Right. Jump Force, another one. Luigi's Mansion 3. Are you a Luigi's Mansion type of fellow?
I plan on playing through the first one for the first time this year. I have it for my GameCube. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I was going to ask if you were going to play the 3DS version. Aren't they coming out with a remake?
Yeah, it's already out.
Oh, okay. Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. Did not know that was a thing. So
yep. It's a remake of like the first one, I think. Or maybe it's the second one. I don't know.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 coming to Switch, which was an interesting announcement.
That was very interesting, especially that it's only coming to Switch.
Yep. Medieval, isn't that a remake?
Yeah.
Or remaster? I don't really know.
Yes,
Metro both. Exodus, another big game. Looks like graphically it's going to be really cool looking. Minecraft Dungeons. I don't know what this is.
It's a dungeon crawler, just with Minecraft.
Okay, so it looks kind of like a Diablo type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat 11, another big game.
How about this? Did you know this? That is coming to the Switch.
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
What is that going to look like?
Right? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I was so surprised when I first heard about that. The people I work with told me, I was like, no way.
I have a feeling that's not going to end well.
Right?
Yeah. There's going to be like some weird texture issues, or like there's just going to be no shadows or something. It's going to be weird.
It's just going to be like polygons fighting each other, bringing us back to the N64 days.
Yeah. Moving on, we have new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe coming to Switch, which we just spoke about a little bit ago.
Very excited.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, still TBD.
Have to play through the first one.
Psychonauts 2, TBD. Rage 2, looks cool. Looks similar to Doom in terms of the way the movements are.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Sea of Solitude 3? Is the game that was shown at the EA conference last year that looked very interesting.
Oh yeah, it looked like it had a lot to do with like mental illness, right?
Yeah, a lot of depression stuff and stuff like that.
Shenmue 3, just said that. Skull and Bones, Ubisoft game, that pirate game that people thought was ripping off Sea of Thieves, but actually kind of looks better. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Who knows if that's coming out this year?
No, they've said it is coming out this year. Respawn is bringing out 2 games, and the 3 that they are working on is the Star Wars game, Titanfall, and a VR game. And we have heard from like a conference call or an earnings call, whatever they're called, that the Star Wars game is one of them.
Okay. Moving on. Trials Rising, February 12th.
I'm very excited for that.
And Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Crafted World. And that's
excited for that.
That's the end of the list.
Some good stuff coming. And that's all that we know about. Like, that's not even like stuff we haven't heard about.
Yeah, there's sure to be more coming that we are unaware of. But I think that we should wrap up this podcast because we've been talking way too long. That does it for episode 47 of the Pixel Street Podcast. Remember to email us at pixelstreetpodcast@gmail.com if you have a topic you would like us to talk about. You can watch our podcast on our Facebook page. Just search Pixel Street Podcast and give us a like or a follow. I don't know how that works. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. Pretty much any podcast platform except for Spotify. Hopefully we'll be getting back in the groove here, doing it every week, every other week. Stay tuned. This should be up Friday, which is tomorrow, so yeah, we should be good to go. Until next time, goodbye. Oh, shit, John. What's your Twitter? Sorry, it's been such a long
I was wondering if you were going to say it. I am at Revek Shadows. You can also find my YouTube, which is Revek Shadows. I need to put up something there. I haven't in a while. Otherwise, you can find my writing on cultureofgaming.com. And that's about it for me.
You can find my YouTube channel at Almost Random, which is where this podcast is posted on the YouTubes. You can follow me on Mixer, mixer.com/MrFinishLine, and my Twitter is twitter.com/Campos63. Okay, now I think I'm good to say.
Now we're calling it good, for sure.
Goodbye.
Bye.